is your lucky day to be baptized in the Greek Orthodox Church.
Hi, I'm Nia Vardalis, and you're listening to WICR. Want to hear it in my radio voice? Hi, I'm Nia Vardalis, and you're listening to WICR.
All right, we're back. We're going to wrap up the show now. Talk a little bit about the Oscars, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on Twitter. So, Jabsy,
Yep.
you're a big movie guy. What's going on with the Oscars?
So apparently, for running for Best Picture this time, it's movies like La La Land, Arrival, Lion, Hell Over High Water, Hidden Figures, Moonlight, Hacksaw Ridge, I don't know how to say that, Manchester by the Sea, and Fences. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am very ashamed because I consider myself a serious movie buff, but I have not seen any of these movies.
So you're ashamed in yourself.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So, why have you not seen the movies?
Yeah. What gives?
Well, it's like, lately, let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
I love movies for how well their stories are told, and if they're good stories and the cinematography, good music, good direction, all that jazz. But what I don't like about the Oscars is that, well, one, there's like a bias to like certain films, like certain genres like blockbusters and superhero movies or sci-fi or
Too many superhero movies lately.
yeah,
Way too many.
we're
Keep
living in
going.
a golden age, or musicals, for that matter. But what I hate about the Oscars is that they clearly have their favorites. Like if Daniel Day-Lewis came back to just do one little old movie, they're just gonna give an Oscar to him because like, hey, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. We love this guy. He played
Lincoln.
Lincoln. He was in like my
he
Left Foot.
he got the nomination for that. He didn't win it. Did he win it?
Yeah, he did.
No,
win.
yeah, he did.
And then he also won for There Will Be Blood. He's got 3, right?
Yeah.
He's got There Will Be Blood, and then there's some other movie in the 80s I know that he got.
Yeah.
He got it for. But he's amazing, oh. It's
He is
like I
amazing.
have no problem if he wins it. Like I get it. He deserves it.
Oh, yeah. No. That guy puts, like, everything into
He's
acting.
nuts. He's a method actor though,
Yeah,
right?
But there's,
Yeah.
there's so many of those
Amazing.
guys in that industry. But the point is like after he got his Oscar for Lincoln,
Yeah.
he said that I'm gonna retire from acting right now until another interesting project comes up. Then I'll do another movie again, which basically means that.
So he's just hyping himself up in a way.
Yeah.
You think you're saying that's like he's pretty much saying, "Hey, if I'm coming back, I'm going to be better. Like I'm going to really be into this role so you're going to be getting something great, so everyone is just going to assume he's going to be great
yeah,
in his next movie." Is that what you kind of mean
yeah.
by that?
But like to me, it just sounds like how many more Oscars do you need, man? Like the whole world
4.
already
I
knows that
mean,
you're great.
You
Why
gotta
not
look at
4?
it. You gotta look at it like how like an athlete looks at like look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady has 4 Super Bowls and he's going after his 5th.
Yeah.
Like he wants to win as many as he can. And for an actor, actors probably have like the biggest egos.
Yeah,
on
but
the
only Tom
planet.
Brady can win the Super Bowl himself. You know what I mean though? It's
Yeah.
not Daniel Day-Lewis.
But it's like it's more. I feel like acting is a
It's
like
up to other people.
yeah, but
It's not the same as
winning-
sports though. I mean, like
No, it's
when
not.
when you're playing in a competition like in a sport, you're both trying to make like the most amount of
It's
touchdowns.
you versus
right?
your competitors in the Oscars. I think what you're trying to say is it's you versus your competitors, but it's not ultimately you or your competitors that determine who wins.
Yeah.
It's the people
Yeah.
critiquing you guys, and not always the people that are critiquing get it right. Like it's just not even the bias against blockbusters. Has been a lot of the talk about African Americans not
Yeah, that too.
getting enough recognition. Whether that's up for debate, or there's like Asian Americans and Latin Americans too.
Yeah.
You could even say that's just a whole other discussion apart from the whole bias with the movies, with blockbuster movies. So I think a lot of people don't like it. I like the Golden Globes better
Yeah.
personally.
yeah.
I think it's a lot more fun. Everyone's drunk. I think.
Jack Nicholson's always. Drunk.
Although I do, one thing I really dislike is putting musicals and comedies together, because the musicals
yeah.
always win. The musicals always win, and I think that's stupid. I think it's ridiculous because some comedies, also too. This is just back to the Golden Globes. I'm a huge Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan.
Yes,
I think it's ridiculous they have never been nominated for either a Golden Globe or an Emmy.
they've never
Yeah.
been
Nominated for
anything.
anything. It's ridiculous.
That is-
I think
that
it's
really
ridiculous.
is.
Also, if you've seen the show, what's it called? Transparent, with
Transparent.
Jeffrey
Oh,
Tambor.
yeah.
That's considered a comedy.
Huh? Is it? I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's Jeffrey Tambor is a comedian, not a comedian, but he's supposed to be like a comedic actor.
Yeah, but it's a very serious show about a transition of a man to a woman, the transgender transition. Also, what was I gonna say? The movie Martian with Matt Damon. Wasn't that under a comedy? Right?
I don't remember.
I'm
it's
pretty
weird.
I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure.
Did
I'll go look it up.
It's just the way that I don't know. Like the categorizing is so bad with like the Golden Globes because it's like that's obviously not a comedy.
Yeah, it
but
won
it's
Best
not-
Comedy.
But it's
Yes,
not a
it
drama.
won Best Comedy.
I mean, like Matt Damon's character like tried to tap into a sense of humor because he was like stuck on Mars for like Lord knows how long, and he's trying to keep like a good attitude.
Yeah, but it's not a comedy, by like a long stretch. So
no.
that doesn't. I mean, Martino came into this argument with, "I love the Golden Globes." Now we're pointing out problems with the Golden.
Well, yeah, I
Globes.
know. I realize that.
There's gonna be
I
problems.
kind of
with
just like it
anything.
because everyone's
Yeah,
drunk.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
kind of where
to
I'm
get back to the Oscars, I'll just say like
Mhm.
what I don't like about it is that like you're having actors competing with each other when they've gone through different techniques to go for the same thing. Like in a sport, like you're like for running, like in the Olympics, when you have sprinters, we want to see who the fastest guy is, who gets to the finish line first. But with acting, you're like becoming completely different characters.
It depends on the character because we've seen characters too. Like say if a mobster movie came out now, like
Yeah.
we've seen it. We've been there. We've done that. We've seen a character like De Niro or Pacino or Marlon Brando, where they're this gangster type of guy. So we've seen it perfected already. So that's why it's kind of harder for someone to win that. But if there's someone coming with a completely unique role, kind of like McConaughey did
Yeah.
with Dallas Buyers Club, we've never seen someone from the AIDS community, like obviously not because they have AIDS, but like an AIDS character where they're coming in from this perspective trying to figure out the cure for this disease. We never saw that before. That's kind of why that gets the nod over that. Maybe because I think there are roles that are more challenging, and I think certain actors challenge themselves more. Like method acting is insane.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like
To
going
really
back,
do something like that,
To
yeah, go
become
ahead.
the character 24/7.
Yeah, go ahead.
going
Robbie,
back
you say.
to what Daniel Day-Lewis, like he used to. Like I heard that like he was literally Abraham Lincoln from the beginning of the movie, shooting the movie to the end of the movie. He
Yeah.
was him the entire
Heath
thing.
Ledger is most notably the most recent one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Lincoln came out after The
Yeah,
Dark
yeah, yeah.
Knight, but Heath Ledger was the one who really took it to the extreme, where he locked himself in his hotel room,
Yep.
and he became the Joker, trying to perfect the laugh. Because Christopher Nolan and him, they discussed. I don't know if you probably Jabsy,
Yeah,
probably definitely seen Clockwork Orange.
I've seen it, but I never.
Well, if you watch the whole movie, he's like a real sinister character. His name's like Alex. He's pretty much like a socio-psychopath type character. But he was based off of him and Jack Nicholson's Joker. So he's like all the darkest characters in cinema history
Most sadistic.
combined into one, and I think it's the top 10 movie of all time. It's
100%.
it's my favorite movie that I've ever seen. I love it. It's amazing. But it's harder to be. You can also get away with certain characters for stuff like in Star Wars because it's an alternate universe that we don't know. You can get away with flaws like that.
Yeah.
Because you could say, why is this character doing that if they're human? Yeah, but you could just be like, hey, but it's this kind of universe, so it's kind of like a little bit of a loophole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of get away from because they're like, yeah, you know what? But they're able to do this in this universe, so that's why he's doing that.
But I think Dark Knight was so good because it humanized the Batman series. Because if you watch all the other Batmans, they're all very
Wacky and cartoony.
Yeah, I mean not all. I mean the Jack Nicholson one isn't like crazy cartoonish, but it is cartoonish, and like
There's
this.
also budget differences
Yeah,
too.
but this one was just so humanized, and it was just so.
because Christopher Nolan might be current director in his prime, the best director.
Oh
around.
yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
have you
Right,
seen
yeah.
Inception? Inception.
Yeah, but also like I still give Scorsese that title because he's just incredible.
Yeah.
You give it to Scorsese, Spielberg. There's James Cameron still.
Mm.
Even Alejandro Inarritu with Birdman,
oh yeah,
Birdman and
Birdman was
Revenant.
incredible.
Also,
Don't like that guy. But anyway.
Revenant wasn't even DiCaprio's best
No.
performance in all of his movies. I don't think it was. Have you ever seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Oh yeah.
He should have won the Oscar that year
But
for
they're-
that.
I guess
but
they're
they
like,
didn't. They
he's-
gave it to Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive, and I think
Yeah.
that's part of the bias too. They kind of do this kind of thing that's like, okay, it's not your time to win the
'Cause
Oscar.
you're a
You have
kid
to
at the
wait
time.
your turn. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if you're better than someone else right now, then you should get it. If you're actually that much better, you know how difficult it is to win an Oscar in the first place. How often are you going to even have a performance like that? You don't like, God forbid, like Leo never had a career that like transpired the way it did.
Yeah.
And that's all, the only performance he ever went off of was What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and he didn't win it just because Tommy Lee Jones is his senior and he wins the award.
Yeah.
That's why I think the problem people have with the Oscars too. I don't know what else you guys have problems with.
I mean, the point I was trying to make was that, I mean, you got all these actors are doing different things. They've all done a fantastic job becoming their completely diverse characters, and then you're telling them, and then you say at the end, out of all these guys, who was the best out of all of you? And then you give an award to one guy. Are you saying that the other guys who played complete different characters faltered in their performance? Like, what does that say?
I think maybe they go off of like, you weren't as good. It's not that you were worse. I think that's the best way to put it, because getting nominated for the Oscars is the best of the best. And I think Jeffrey Tambor said it too when he won the Golden Globe for Transparent. He said there's no such thing as best actor or best performance. It's bringing a character to life. And I think at one point it's just really what character is most believable to certain people. Because I don't know, at the same time, because people go through different experiences in life.
Yeah.
You can say like a different crowd's going to react a certain way to Fences than they are Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
There's more people that have been through depression that really get hit home by, say, Casey Affleck's performance opposed to Denzel Washington's performance in Fences. Right? So
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit different, because I think if you understand where the character's coming from, you might be a little bit more biased to that.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Same thing with mobsters. They love shows like The Sopranos or the movies like Goodfellas and stuff like that, because they know them. Those are their people. Like, they know people like that.
Okay.
Same reason why, I guess. I don't know. Like I can't really think of an example off the top of my head that like many people can't relate to it, but like, I mean, maybe even Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. I mean, no one knows what it was like during that time, but the way he portrayed his character, you were believed.
yeah.
Like, you
Believe
actually
that.
got intimidated by
Yeah.
it. But
Good
even in
God.
Gangs in New York too, the way he
God.
was, he
boy.
scared me in that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's
Bone
even in
chilling.
television too. I don't know how much like the examples you could use is like Tony Soprano.
Oh yeah.
One of them, Walter White. You guys both seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
I've seen.
Like, there were some parts in Breaking Bad you were like, holy
Yeah. You know.
crap!
Bryan
Christ.
It was just.
Great job, man.
All right. So, well, that'll wrap up the Oscar talk, movie talk, whatever.
Yeah.
So overall, good show. First show.
Not bad.
We'll be back for.
Gotta think of a name.
Yeah. We'll be back next week to think of a name. Otherwise, everyone have a great Groundhog's Day, and we'll see you next week.